Welcome to another episode of Cooking on the Fry. Today we are going to do pork shoulder blade steak, the sequel. Hopefully this sequel will turn out better than the original shoulder blade steak, which cooked in the frying pan way too long and got a little too dry. Well, we're going to do this one differently. This one we are going to pan sear and then throw in the oven. So right away I am going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees. There we go. I thought it would be a little while before I had another shot at pork shoulder blade steak, but the good people at Safeway made this beautiful steak available to me for under $3. So I seized upon it as my chance to try to do pork shoulder blade steak better than I did before. Wow, is this beautiful or what? The first thing I am going to do is put it in the microwave for 3 minutes at 20%, flip it, and leave it in there for another 3 minutes at 20%. This does not start the cooking process, but does bring it up way closer to room temperature than it is now. Next, I'm going to preheat my iron skillet. I'm going to turn it to, let's see, how about that far below medium, 1.5 notches below medium, because we're going to go lower and slower than last time. We'll give this pan about 6 minutes to come up to cooking temperature. Okay, my microwave is done and this pan is not coming up to the temperature that I would like it at, so I'm going to crank this up to full medium right now, because it just needs to be a little hotter before we begin cooking. Well, about half a minute later and my microwave is done and my oven is now preheated. So now let's get some oil and some seasoning on our pork shoulder blade steak and get it in the pan. Okay, well, someone just called me on the phone and we talked for about 6 minutes. So now this pan is super hot. Well, that's the reality of cooking reality, is you can't control when people call you. So safety first. I'm going to lift this pan off the burner and get it to cool down a little bit, and then I'm going to get the oil and the seasoning on this steak pronto and get it into the pan. So quickly, here is my Spectrum organic sunflower oil with a smoke point of 460 degrees. Refined high heat cooking oil. I highly recommend it. And we're going to dump that on and smear it all around, including the edges, because this is going in the oven and I want the oil on the edges. And then without spreading the oil to the seasoning, I'm going to dump some of this Steak and Chop Weber Steak and Chop seasoning onto my steak, and then I'm going to rinse my hand off and repeat. Okay, let's do the other side. Pour, spread it around, go, get our Steak and Chop seasoning on it, and spread that around. Oops. Okay, here we go. Time to get the steak into the pan. And it's at room temperature, just about. Wow, what a mess. Okay, you may want to improve on this process. But there we go. And I'm going to let it go for 2 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes. Okay. There we go. 2 minutes. Now while I'm searing each side, I am going to attempt to push the edges up against the sides of this pan to get a little bit of sear on them too. one of the advantages of an iron pan. It gets hot everywhere, and you can use the sides to sear as well as the bottom. Okay, we're at 2 minutes. Let's flip her over. Oh, look at that. Nice. And I'm going to push this up against, if possible, the side of the pan, at least some of it. Now, it's really not conforming to the curve of the pan, so I'm just going to let it go. I think it'll be fine. 2 minutes. Oh yeah, I'm going to position it, since I can't use the edges, I'm just going to reposition it to the middle. There we go. Better. 2 minutes later, it's time to transfer this pork steak into the oven. And remember, safety first. And I can't do this with one hand. I'm not even going to try. So here we go. Let's put her in the oven. Okay, Piggy, there you go. 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes in the oven. Let's check the temperature. We're shooting for 160. Let's see what we got. Thickest part of the meat. And our temperature, whoa, our thermometer is going right up there. And it is at, yes, we have exceeded 160. Let's try one more place over here. And let's see if you can see this. We are at racing up to 157, 158, 159, 160. I think we're good. We are going to pull that out and let it rest for about 6 minutes. And just so y'all know, what I do is I close the oven door most of the way, shut off the oven, and just let it cool down for an hour or two. The greatest thing about putting your hand on a hot iron pan is that you only do it once. Okay, now you just sit there and rest for 6 minutes. Our steak has rested for 6 minutes. Look at all that juice. Wow, it's all over the place. I'm going to cut into this and see what it looks like. Okay, look at that. It is cooked all the way through, and I think it is a little more moist than the last time I did this. Let's see what it tastes like. Here goes. That was so moist. I cannot believe it. I am dumbfounded. This is about as good as I have ever done pork in my life. And I did it for less than $3, and I can't even eat this all tonight. I'm just going to have to eat a little bit and put it in the fridge. This is a lot of meat. And my approach totally worked. So, until next time, good luck and have fun cooking on the fry.